Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Course in Miracles 365. It's Reverend Tomas here. What is the role of words in healing? Well, this is very interesting. This is today's question from the Manual for Teachers. What is the role of words in healing? What is the role of what comes out of our mouths in the healing process? Well, we'll talk a little bit here in answering the question about words themselves. And we'll also talk about a very wonderful and unique situation, a unique process that this course invites us to embark on. So, what is the role of words in healing? Well, the short answer, technically none. And here in the world, a lot. Isn't it? I mean, the role of words here in the world, where we think we're a body and we're using what we call languages, cannot be at all understated, can it? It's very important. It's very important. So, as teachers, we use them, we use words. Now, the reason why words are technically, right, ultimately not important to healing at all is because God doesn't respond to words. Did you learn that in Sunday school? I certainly didn't. Yeah, that statement would have gotten me thrown out of my Sunday school class. I kid you not. Yeah, God doesn't recognize words. What God responds to is the prayer of the heart. This is something that I invite you to read here in the commentary in the Manual for Teachers. God responds to the prayer of the heart. He doesn't recognize words. Why? Words are symbols of the thing that they stand for. Shirt. It's a collection of sounds that we got together in this language that we called English. And why? Because it kind of amalgamated and derived from German and various other languages in Great Britain. So we call it English, but we could just as easily call it something else. Sure, it's a collection of sounds. It's a symbol that comes to mean this thing. What is this thing? Well, it's also just an image. It's an image that we see on our screen, like you're seeing me right now. It's not really me. It's an image. It's a projected image on your screen. Think about that on a couple of different levels. Right? What we're looking at in the world is not reality. We say it is here, and it passes for reality, and we simply accept that it's so-called reality, yet reality has nothing to do with that, nothing to do with the window that I'm looking beyond as I speak these words to you, to the blinds, to the wall between my house and the neighbor's house, to the neighbor's house itself, and the tile roof, the red tile roof in the sunlight. That doesn't have anything to do with any of that at all. God responds to the prayer of the heart. It's what you want deep down. That gets a response. It may or may not have anything to do with the words that you use. In fact, the words can completely contradict the prayer of the heart. But you get what you ask for here. The prayer of the heart. That's what's answered. If the prayer of the heart asks for confusion and lots of stuff, then you get confusion and lots of stuff. If you ask for only lots of stuff, you ask for that, you get that. If you ask for an experience, the peace of God, healing, what do you get? Yeah, just that. God doesn't recognize any separation or symbols at all. So here in the world where we're using symbols, I'm using a lot of them. I'm using language to reach out to all of you. I'm reaching language in many, reaching all of you through this. We're using these symbols in many different ways. Some constructively, some not so much. Anybody been on social media yet today? I will say no more. So here in the world, we need to use them. Yeah, it's very interesting because Jesus correctly says here that words are actually twice removed. They're symbols that are twice removed from reality. Our reality, the Son of God, symbol, body, right? Nose, shirt, rug behind me, words, symbol that relates to this thing that the body's eyes show us. They're twice removed. It reminds me of twice baked potatoes. I really don't know why I just thought of that, but it's fun. So we use words to communicate. The body is a communication device. It does what the mind tells it to do. If the mind decides for God, if the mind chooses the thought system of the Holy Spirit, if the mind chooses to extend love and forgiveness, that's what the body does. That's what it's for. And if the mind chooses separation and fear and abuse, well, guess what seems to perpetrate that? This thing seems to perpetrate that. So, as a teacher, this is very, very interesting. This is a process that applies to each and every one of us. So, if you want to substitute the word teacher for practical purposes for student, right? Because they're one and the same. See yourself in this role, whether you hold yourself out as a teacher or not. But the unique process that I was talking about at the outset has to do with this. When we use words, we here in the world are indoctrinated, we're trained, we're conditioned to want to have control, right, over everything. And we discovered that's utterly impossible in practice. So the course here invites each and every one of us to let go of your need to manipulate and control and allow your inner teacher to guide your words. This is what I do every time I turn this camera on, is I allow my inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, to speak through me. And I do my absolute best to allow that to happen. Now, do my own ego based thoughts get in the way? Sometimes, yeah, they do. The more I do it, the more I notice them and let them go. My prayer of the heart here is that I will let the Holy Spirit speak through me. I will let Jesus speak through me. And he directs the words. I don't. This is a process that we all learn because it is not, especially at first, easy for any of us, is it, to give up that sense of control. The ego wants to run the show. Problem is, it doesn't know what it's doing. If the ego were driving a car, it would be drunk, very drunk, and not know where it's going. And oftentimes it would be on the verge of passing out. So every barricade, every wall, every other car that you pass could be the object with which you collide at high speed. And maybe you're lucky this time and it's a fender bender, or you run into a post and don't hurt anyone else. You may find that to be a useful analogy. Personally, I would rather hand over control of the car to a sober driver who knows all ends and knows exactly where to lead us. About that. Better, isn't it? Better. So, how we use words matters in this world. And one of the takeaways that you could choose to see here is just that how you use words matters in this world, because you're here to reach certain people with whatever it is you do for work or don't do. Even if all you do is sit on the couch, and these days you can still work because I often do that. I'm always working barefoot and in shorts. I live in Arizona, so rarely do I even have long pants on. So it's not like going to the office anymore, is it, and getting dressed up. But you don't really have to do anything in particular in order to benefit from this. We all use words, and you, no matter what you do, whether you have an elaborate and complicated job or a huge reach or a limited reach, doesn't matter. There are people here in this world that only you can reach with your message, with your presence, with the Holy Spirit coming through you. They will respond best to you. So it is incumbent on you to recognize that, accept that responsibility. It doesn't have to be weighty. You can have fun doing it, and I have fun doing it. But it's our responsibility here in the world to, first of all, acknowledge that there are people out there that only we can reach. Why? They're simply ready for us, for our message that we deliver. There's only one message, multiple messengers, and they're ready to hear from you. They're ready to learn from you much better than me, much better than anyone. So how we use our words, how we come across to these people matters. And it matters very deeply. It matters greatly that we have the humility, that we have the presence of mind to sit back and ask for help, ask to be guided, and then step out of the way. People want to tell God what to do, don't they? We say specific prayers for specific objects. Yeah, he doesn't relate to that, doesn't recognize specificity. There's no separation of any kind. What God responds to is the prayer of the heart. That's what's answered, is the prayer of the heart. So I invite you to think about what that is for you. What is the prayer of the heart for you? That's what's coming. That's what you receive. As soon as you ask for it, the Holy Spirit understands that. The Holy Spirit understands language. The Holy Spirit is viewed and presented here in A Course in Miracles as a medium, so to speak, really, truly, as a bridge, as a mediator between two worlds, between the thought system of the ego and, well, its own thought system, the thought system of the Holy Spirit. So he knows what to do. It knows what to do. She knows what to do. They know what to do. Pronoun doesn't matter. It's a word, a symbol, twice removed from reality. Like those twice baked potatoes. Have I made you hungry? If so, that's a side benefit today. So let's all pay attention to the prayer of the heart. That's what's answered. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you here on the next video.